What's up? It's the Wares.
What's up, Waiting with Ware family? I am Jaquan Ware.
And I'm Asia Ware.
And this is the second episode of No Time for Sex.
Yes.
Hey, man, did you guys enjoy the first episode?
Let us know in the comments.
Let us
right
know right now. Did you enjoy the first
Pause
episode?
The video and comment down below right now and let us know if you enjoyed the first video.
I know I did, for sure.
I definitely did. And reading the comments and reading the DMs, I definitely believe the people are super glad that we are back.
I'm super glad we're back.
It feels good to be back.
Just the DMs, just like you said, the DMs, the comments, the interactive with one another.
It's been good.
I love it. I love it. The lives are going to be changed because of this.
So let's hop into it.
Yeah.
Episode 2.
What's our topic for today, man?
So the topic for today is a fresh start.
A fresh start. Okay.
Yes. So we asked our followers, we asked some of our subscribers to send us in questions. And this question I thought would be so good for episode 2. And I'm going to read it.
Okay.
They said, "Hey guys, how are you? I have a question. How do you keep it on hold after you've already done it?" And they're talking, how do you put sex on hold if you've already had sex before? Let's answer that, Mr. Ware.
That's a perfect question.
Yeah.
That's us. We live that. We're a product of that.
100%.
Straight up.
So if anybody could say that it was possible, it would be us. And
For
so
sure.
she said how.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're just going to tell you our how. Like, how did we put it on hold after we had already done it? So just share your thoughts, or what advice would you give her?
First off, I'll say it wasn't me that put it on hold. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing. Mm-hmm. Because I made the decision when I was 22?
Yeah.
21 or 22.
Mm-hmm.
And to the world, that's like prime years when you get everything out, right?
Right.
But again, I ain't made the decision, and everybody know this story, but when God told me to cut sex out, I felt like I ain't have a choice.
Understandable.
Yeah, it felt like I ain't have a choice. I'm still thinking about that question, but I don't really got a lot to say right now, but I'm still thinking about that question on how to answer it.
Yeah, it's hard to be too cliche. Like, and honestly, like, we get this question so much. Like, how do you stop if you've already done it? But I think, honestly, for us, or I'll say for me, I think it made it even easier to stop once we had already done it. Because think about this. One time we had our call, right? We had our Zoom meeting with like lots of people. Right. And you remember the boy, he joined in. He said, "I don't even know how I got in this group, but I'm in here." And he said that he had never had sex before. And one of his biggest concerns was, like, I don't know what I'm missing. Like, I've never had sex before. And so what if me and my wife, we don't even know how to please each other? And so I think a lot of times that's everyone's biggest misconception, or that's the thing they're worried about the most.
And
like,
that's so smart, but keep going.
Yeah, like they're worried about that the most. And so I feel like with this question being, if you've already done it, how do you stop? It's like, well, I already know what's on the outside. Like, I already know what's out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already know what's in the life of sin. Like, I already know there are no rewards out there. I could possibly get pregnant. I don't want to get pregnant. Like, there's so many cons. And so stopping is like, what am I losing?
And then again, I kind of understand on the other half of it, saying like, I already done got this feeling. So everybody knows sex is good, right? But I'm saying, I already got this feeling.
Yeah. And
how do I just turn that off?
It's like you used to say all the time. Like, you really just have to get to a point where, number one, let's go ahead and restate this, that it's an act of recommitting. Like,
definitely,
this fresh start is recommitting to God. So your entire image of who you believe yourself to be, you have to recommit and realign with who God has called you to be. That's number one. And it's not, I'm not saying it's easy, but it's not hard to recommit. it's an actual decision that you make, and once you've made that decision, you stand on the decision that you've made.
Yes.
And so when you go to your counter argument of, but I've already experienced this, why stop? I think a way to think of it is, okay, you've experienced it. You know what it's like, right?
Yes.
You don't know what it's like to put your all and trust into God and sacrifice and obey his word to tell you to put this on hold, of God has told you to, you know, abstain from this thing. You don't know what that is like.
You're right.
Why not try it out? Like, why not try it out? And I think for me, with having conversations with the people in our DMs and a lot of just women, I think for me, the biggest thing I would say is God forgives you.
For sure.
Because 100%, I feel like
every single day.
People really believe, well, if I've already sinned, I might as well keep going. Because at this point, he looks at me as I'm just this joke anyway. But like, the truth is, we are upset with ourselves. Like, we be mad at us. God's not mad at us.
For sure. I think, bro, on my end, I'm just sitting here thinking, I think on my end, just the simple fact of stop. So I already had sex, and just stopping the sex, I don't think that was me. My relationship with God was growing at the time, and to go back to the recommitting, man, I was going to church. I was doing my thing. I was smoking this and that, having sex, whatever. And I was still going to church, right?
Yeah.
Y'all should come visit our church too. Word of Worship Center, 2260 Lake Harbor Road, Morrow, Georgia. Yes. Every Sunday, 10:30. I need you there, sir. I need you there, sis. But back to it. When I was doing whatever I was doing, right?
Yeah.
I was still coming to church.
Yeah.
So my dad always say, how has God drawn you? By love and kindness, right? And that's how God draw me in, bro. With love, with his love and his kindness.
Yeah.
So me going to church every Sunday, making it every Wednesday, it was just gradually growing on me. The relationship was just growing on me, growing on me. And then when it was the right time for God to tell me, like, I need you to make this decision.
Yeah.
It was like okay. Of course it was new. Of course I already done had sex and knew what it feel like. But it was just like, okay.
I'm willing to try.
Yeah, I'm willing to try. I'm willing to try it. So for me, that's how it was okay for me to stop. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it was like you said, it was a slow draw.
Yes, bro.
Into it.
It was like I was going to church, but he was breaking me down, breaking me down. Now he got me broke down. Now I'm finna give you a decision. I mean, I'm finna give you a choice to make.
Yeah, but I like what you said about. I like that you mentioned love and kindness. Like, I like that you mentioned that, because I think like that right there can be a whole topic in its own.
For sure.
Because so many people, from what we've experienced in our DMs, have this thought of, like, God is mad at me. Like, God is angry. Like, God is, when, bro, like you just said, it's love.
It's easy to think that too, bro. I don't know where we get that from, but it's easy to be like, man, I messed up. I'm just keep messing up because he ain't gonna take me in.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we never even give it a try to better ourselves with the Lord. It's just like, I mean, I messed up. I mean, I'm just finna keep messing up. Cause how is God? How can God forgive me if I keep messing up and I keep messing up? But I was that guy.
Yeah,
I was that guy that kept messing up, doing this, doing that, kept messing up. But the thing was, man, I stayed in church, and I said this on the last video. It's important to have the right leadership over you.
Yeah.
Because, man, Word Up really like made me into who I am.
Yeah.
And just just kept breaking me down, bro. It wasn't like I'm finna just stop having sex.
Yeah.
It
like
was
you were getting fed the word.
I was literally out there doing the same thing everybody else doing.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't bigger than nobody else. But how he just drawn me. He showed me he loved me. He kind with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was just that. Like, I don't even know how I made the decision. I don't need that because that's not even me to make the decision.
Because it's not you. And like you say all the time, like that, it wasn't you. It's always bigger than us. So even for you to send this message and ask this question, God has placed the thought on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
He's giving you that thought. Like seeds are being planted. Like you said, you were going to church. And so that's what it is.
Exactly.
It's those small seeds that are being planted.
Exactly.
And the enemy wants us to believe that God is like man. Like your friend mad at you, your friend gonna hold a grudge. Your man mad at you, he gonna hold a grudge. God ain't holding no grudge.
For sure.
Like God's not upset with you. First of all, he already knew you were doing what you were doing before you even did it.
For sure.
But what he's wanting you to understand is why we are the perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
Though we are not perfect, we are perfect examples that we too lived the life of sin and decided to recommit.
For sure.
And so you can allow tonight, this episode, a fresh start. You can allow this episode to be your fresh start. You can allow tonight to be the night you decide, okay,
let me give it a try.
It's okay for me to recommit.
Yeah, let me give it a try.
He's not upset. Like I can repent, I can pray, I can ask God for forgiveness, and then wake up and step foot into this newness of whatever this adventure and this journey will look like for me. Like that's okay.
And then I also say just not committing to, oh, I'm not gonna have sex. It's not enough. Like it ain't gonna hold no weight.
Yeah.
You really have to start building a relationship with God. You just saying like, I'm finna start having sex. Okay, cool, but
what do you always say?
He ain't got no foundation up under that.
But what do you always say about the act of abstaining from sex? It was never really about abstaining from sex
at all.
It was always about starving what?
Your flesh.
And feeding what?
Your spirit, really.
Yeah.
Like.
And so that's the advice. Like when you decide, okay, I'm not gonna have sex, like he just said, you can't even just stop with that because it's everything that feeds your flesh.
Exactly.
Your thoughts, that thought of God being mad, that's flesh feeding. All of those things, that's what it is.
I feel that. I don't know, just this episode, I'm just thinking a lot because I want to say the right thing, but I truly want to tell them, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a me thing that stopped. It wasn't a me thing. It wasn't a us thing that just was like, we finna just stop having sex.
Yeah.
It was definitely a journey, and it was a process that we had to go through. Like the process I went through, I really was growing with God. Like me and him really formed a relationship. I started praying more. I was getting fed at church, and it was just breaking me down, like I said again. And he just made me bold enough to go up to Asia and was like, let's just, you know what I'm saying? Let's try to wait. What did I say though?
He was like, so he walked up to me and was like, yeah, we just gonna wait till marriage.
I walked up on you and said,
yeah, we just gonna wait till marriage.
See? What? And
I was like, you sure?
You looked at me and was like, bruh, okay. I'm talking about, we just gonna wait.
Yeah, we just gonna
like you
wait.
already knew what I was gonna say.
And then you said, we'll talk about it though. We'll talk about it later.
That was, man.
Never talked about it.
Never. But just for me doing that, that's not. Looking back at it, it wasn't me, man. It wasn't me. Yeah. Out of all people, even my buddies will tell you, they be like, bro, out of all people, bro, I would have never thought you would have made that decision. Ever.
Yeah.
But I did.
Even after having sex before.
Even after having sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we end it, I have a question. because you had sex before, once you committed, of course not that moment when you committed, but once you committed or recommitted your life to God, and once you committed to abstaining from sex, did you ever think about like, but I already had sex before? Or that was never a thought of yours?
I ain't think about that not one time.
Yeah. Me neither.
On everything. I ain't think about that not one time. Like, but I already had sex. I already messed up. I ain't think about that one time because I knew right when I started this journey, it was something new for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just, again, it wasn't me just saying, I'm finna start having sex. Bro, the whole journey, the whole relationship, the whole
we got
recommitment.
baptized.
Yeah, we got baptized.
Yeah.
The whole recommitment, bro. It was just, everything was new, bro.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a
just finna stop having sex.
But I already did it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna be honest, I got re-baptized. Like, so when I say
Me
it's
too.
a whole entire recommitment, it's a recommitment. I got baptized years ago with my little brother. Like, I've been did that. But when we decided to start this journey with God, it was an entire recommitment. So we decided to wait. July, boom. We got baptized again. August. Like, it was just an entire recommitment. So when you say it's not about sex, it really just wasn't.
When did I what day did I catch the Holy Ghost? Like the date?
Was it September or December? I think it was September. Yours is September.
Yeah, I think it was September.
Yeah, I got it in my phone.
But yeah, stop having sex. That grew to me getting closer with God, catching the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
That grew to me knowing my purpose. That grew to me getting a house.
Yeah.
That grew to me marrying my wife.
Yeah.
But it's a lot that go into it, man. It's just not.
It's just bigger than.
It's way bigger. I learned about my traumas. I know this is another topic, but I learned about my traumas. I remember one night we was hot. It was just one of them days. One of them days we was aggravated with each other. We still not having sex. Aggravated, mad at each other. You really couldn't say none to me. I couldn't say none to her. We just both flipping out on each other, right? we went somewhere, and then we got back to the house, and we sat in the car in the driveway, right?
We would sit in the car
night, right?
every day.
So I don't even know why we was mad, but we was arguing about something, and I wouldn't let it go.
Intimacy.
Yep.
Ooh, we're gonna talk about that next episode for
it was
sure.
that, bro.
Yeah, intimacy. That was the biggest argument every single day.
Boy. Cause me coming from that's all I wanted, sex is all I wanted, to now it's like a no,
boundaries.
I ain't going for nothing. That's just what it is. And them just little days that'll just nag at you, and you just like, bro, like, while we were arguing about intimacy that night in the car.
Yeah.
Hot. I was hot. And bro, we started, that conversation ended with trauma.
Yeah, it ended really,
what
really
triggers
well.
you.
Yep.
Just a whole bunch. But you gonna grow in the abstaining journey. You will grow in many of ways once you dive into it.
And recommit.
That's another thing. Just jump, bro.
Yep. To answer the question,
real talk, just go.
How do you do it? You just jump. You just gotta do it.
It got to a point I didn't have a choice, and I was just like, you know what? Forget it. Hey, babe, we just gonna wait till we married.
Yep. I'm gonna read something, and we can end it like this. So this is what we responded back to the individual. So the individual said, how do you keep it on hold after you've done it? That saying of just jump is just like the best answer that one can give you. And it sounds so cliche, but without thinking, just jump. Like, just commit. Don't worry about what you've already done. But what we said was, it was a decision. We really had to make a decision that regardless of how long we've been doing it, we can decide to stop.
Yeah.
Just because you've acted in sex doesn't mean you can't stop. And it's not hard. It's an effective decision that had to be made for us. To be honest, I think it was easier to stop because we lived that life and we know the outcome. We had nothing to lose but everything to gain.
You're right.
Why not give it a try? And it has turned out to be the best decision we've made. God has constantly shown us that because of our obedience, we will forever reap the benefit.
I'm so glad we did it though, baby.
We said that. Like, what?
I'm so glad we did it though, man. I'm so glad that we did it.
Just jump. Just make the commitment.
Just do it. Just do it. And I know we have a lot of female audience.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Chop. He outside. I just saw another dog go past. You see it? Oh, that's across the street. But I know we got a lot of female audience, but men, we can do it too.
Oh, for sure.
We can do it too. And I ain't saying on the fly, I ain't saying all that. But if I did it, I know you could do it.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. If I did it, I know you can do it. Just make a commitment, just jump, just go after it, and have a foundation you can stand on.
Y'all got it. Men, women, we got it.
And the women, stay strong. Just go. The men, they'll fall in line. They'll fall in line.
For sure. So just jump. That's what we doing. It's a fresh start. How do you do it? Once you've already done it, you just do it.
Just do it.
And that's a wrap for episode 2 of Fresh Start.
No time for podcast. No time for sex.
Yes.
Again, I'm Jaquan Ware.
And I'm Asia Ware.
Just jump, right?
Yes.